What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Mercer, one half of the tag team champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 791, Tuesday. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we are ready to talk some professionalized wrestling. But first of all, let's go down the line, introduce our cast of characters this evening. First of all, from Beacon, New York, the only Mayhemmer down the road from the barcade that we frequented recently. He is Mad Mike.
Hey, Sorg.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey. I'm waiting for you to come on the screen. Say a little more.
I'm waiting for it. I'm just waiting
there
for
he
it.
is.
There we go.
Hey.
Hi. Sorg.
Yes.
Have you watched anything good today?
Watched a few things. Yes. A few good things.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Played some
Yeah,
Halo
okay.
Infinite today. Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I've just had a normal day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I came straight from work.
Hey, I gotta say, you got an impressive tan from your trip in Orlando.
Thank you.
I'm noticing right now.
A little bit of sunburn, a little bit
A
of
little
red.
bit of sunburn, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. I
Yeah.
don't know where the blue came from, but there
I
you go.
mean, well, sometimes it gets cold in Orlando.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So thank you, Mad Mike, for joining us here.
Yeah.
Spider Mike.
Everybody gets one, Sorg.
Everyone gets one. Yes, exactly. Which We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go with it. There you go. That's a visual. That's a visual for you guys on podcast.
What's a visual?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Also with us, he is he is from JustProWrestlingNews.com. He is mainstream. Matt Carlin's with us on the line.
Hello, Sorgi, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm so you seem so much calmer that we got our Bleacher Report rants out last night on the Monday show.
I'm not over it.
No. I got my pay-per-view refunded from Apple, so I'm okay right now. So, and they're never getting my money.
I mean,
again.
it's just. I mean, what more can I say? But they screwed up. There are going to be consequences. So
yes.
That's all there needs to be said about it at this point. I learned my lesson.
There it is.
I have moved on from complaining about Bleacher Report to complaining about the secondary hard cam at the Battle in the Valley show on New Japan. So that's my new gripe.
Man, you sound like me. This is crazy.
This fool who's apparently never operated a video camera in his life, in his or her life, who was hired to work this show, apparently. Anyway.
This is the only...
I've said too much.
This is perhaps the only wrestling podcast where almost everybody on this... everybody on the show has worked in production in some manner and can be appropriately critical of the television production of professional wrestling shows, apparently.
No one can critique the video production of wrestling shows of any level or caliber better than us, because we bring the knowledge and the anger that is necessary to properly
exactly
tear them down.
And somebody else who has got a little bit of TV knowledge as well. He is back with us. He is the Rev Ron Hunt. Where's the button? There's the Rev button.
It's been a little bit of time, man. Good to be back in the house, but now all of a sudden, listening to Carlin's, I don't even think that I'm deemed worthy enough to be on this show. So I appreciate you guys having me and being in the graces of Spider-Man. Your Highness, is truly an honor.
Wait, Spider-Man's here?
I think he was. Did
Where?
he leave?
Nope.
That's odd.
Okay, I had too much Angry Orchard. I don't know.
We do have yes. We do have beer in the studio. So.
Excellent.
So
Sorg, you didn't make him the mule, did you?
No, I didn't make him the mule. I didn't get the recipe. I don't think the Mad Mike or the Mellow Mike was the drink at your wedding. That
the Autumn Mike Mule.
Autumn Mike Mule.
Autumn Mike Mule.
It was wonderful, and we drank it way too fast.
Okay. And you probably didn't remember like the next 24 hours after that then.
Well, thankfully we stopped because I had to get on a plane for Chicago the next morning.
Oh, listen, that's not an excuse. If you would have had to drive, then you had an excuse. But if you had to catch a flight,
I had a Dutters driver. I had a Dutters driver, but I didn't want her to subject to drunk Sorg at our Airbnb. So
that's a fair point.
That is like I didn't want to do that to her.
I feel like now I just have to get an Airbnb just to have drunk Sorg there, just to say it was there, and then hopefully I can get richer by that video when we make like a Michael Sorg like Dark
TikTok.
Side of the Ring.
That'd be a good.
We make great TikToks. Yes, great TikToks.
Are you ready for Dark Side of the Mayhem?
Dark
Side of the Mayhem. Just listen to the first 5 years.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's been a couple classics.
Speaking of things that probably don't hold up in 2021. There's some rough stuff in there. It's freely available on the internet somewhere, I'm sure.
I hope that girl got out of the freezer.
I do too. I do too.
Rev looks very confused, and I appreciate that.
Rev, I don't know either. So
the former investigative reporter in me wants to know, but then just the me just doesn't want to know, and I guess
you know better.
Certain things are just left not being known.
Listen. You're around pro wrestling. You know when to just say no.
Just say no. That's why I sold my other 3 cars. I didn't want to open up the trunk and see who was knocking in there. Just
take it. Take it.
Yeah. Chachi's also talking about the time he got drunk and shouted out Brooklyn while in the Bronx. He tried to be Miles Morales. Didn't work out well for him.
No, it didn't. No, he didn't. We got people asking for your well-being and everything after this past weekend. We're going to talk about that, the RWA situation, the incident this past Saturday night. Matt was a part of it. Well, a part of it, but I say in it, you were more a part of it, part of that table and stuff. We're going to go into details in that here later in the show, but generally, how are you feeling after that?
I mean, I think that the fact that the main stuff I'm complaining about, just like some spasms and some stiffness, is a extreme blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would consider it a win-win, but yeah, we could talk about that further because I still got some people giving me calls about that.
So we got plenty to talk about, including that and a Ring of Honor, a big thing in the news. You're of course a lot going on there, part of the Shane Taylor promotion, so we'll get into that discussion too, and so much more. But in the meantime, please go check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. I don't shout them out enough, but I want to give a shout to our buddy Basick Sickness for those that theme music that you hear at the beginning of the show. Also, you can hit us up at that email address.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Wow, that worked a lot better than I expected. But yes, and 412-206-WMS0 is the hotline that I think works. Somebody said they sent us a voicemail. I need to check in on that. But we'll double check. Google Voice, I don't know if they work anymore sometimes. So you're getting a little finicky.
It's not as good as a Spider Sense.
No, not as good as the Spider Sense. No, I don't know why you're making these puns about Spider.
I have no idea.
No idea.
You know, Sorg, I'm sorry. It's a little warm in the house.
Okay.
I'm just gonna situate myself for a second. Hold on.
I don't know if we should.
He's just taking his face off.
Wow, he just took his face off. Wow,
what?
that's. Well,
wait,
whoa! He's like an onion. He's
what
he's like a spider.
He
onion.
has layers.
He does.
It's a combination of an onion and Shrek.
Ah, there we go. Much better.
Okay.
Sorg, we've had 3 Spider-Man shirts on the show.
Yes, we have.
That's weird.
That's
weird. Weird, right?
Strange. I didn't even think
weird.
about it.
It's almost like something else probably should have shown 3 Spider-Men. It's gonna happen though. It's gonna fucking happen.
Also, you can tweet us about your spider thoughts at Mayhem Show. Wrestling Mayhem Show on Facebook page, the group where a lot of discussion happened. Also, a lot of great discussion happened on the Discord for Wrestling Mayhem Show. That's where Matt has especially been talking about the production of the New Japan special this past weekend. And of course, the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
That's where I really vent.
That's where you really vent. That's where, if you want to really know what Matt's thinking about. He doesn't want it in the public searchable internet like Facebook, but over on the Reddit, or I'm sorry, on the Discord is where the real shit happens.
Discord is the best.
Yes, it is.
It's like a little hideout from the rest of the internet.
Nobody's afraid to say anything in there. It's kind of nice.
It's just it feels so safe. Yeah, I know.
It's like
probably not safe. It's not safe.
It feels safe. It's like our own personal 4chan without the racism.
Okay, so it's not like the indie wrestling message board.
No. No. It's like that if it wasn't run by assholes. So yeah,
fair enough.
There you go.
Little utopia.
And I don't mean the person that owned the place running it. So, because I can't say for him. And plus, I don't think with us anymore. That's the only reason it doesn't exist anymore. But anyways, Reddit. We are also on Reddit. We'll get around to that. And we're here live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Wherever you want a Mayhem, we are on Twitch. We're on YouTube, Facebook. Of course, a lot of people in the chat room over on Facebook. I'm seeing Chachi, Tina out in Seattle, and I think Podner was in there too. I know Brandon's been popping into the chat. So a lot going on there. Thank you guys so much for being part of the conversation. Oh no, I made the chat disappear. They found it again. Oh, Facebook keeps changing crap. Anyways, oh yeah, there you go. Chachi rebooked the AEW and told us who he'd fire. So he loves rebooking the territories, even the national ones. Anyways. But Patreon, give us a shout out to patreon.com. Our friends over there supporting the show, helping keep the servers running. At the fan of the show level, our friends Bo Diggity, woo, as well as Ed Burke and Team Hammer Fist. The Poppy Club level, our friends Dave Ponder, OccupyProWrestling.com, and Bobby F. J-Town. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, Kyle Turner, and the Riz of Riz Plays Games. And at the manager level, our buddy Bradley Brothers, Heel Bradley, of course.
My son.
You guys
enter the buttverse.
Your son,
Bradley
yes.
That's my son.
Yes, we did.
Bradley is my son.
That was a thing that happened, yes.
It's a real thing.
Wow.
Don't ask.
Okay.
I know you're asking how to
this,
you know how
I
you
mean,
can tell.
this is my time to say I have questions, but I'm going to sidestep all of them.
We'll just clarify that it's something that happened in West Virginia.
Yeah, it sounds very West Virginia like.
I assumed it was.
Yeah. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Oh, God.
No more questions. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
And that's why Rev doesn't
Damn
get
it!
booked.
Now I have the Chappelle skit in my head. I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
F-I-F.
And then that's why Rev doesn't get booked in West Virginia anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I mean, aligning yourself with Bradley, I'm surprised you get booked anywhere.
Well, sometimes you gotta do some crazy things, you know.
I love in mid Wednesday when I start getting messages from Bradley about whatever we talked about him the night before. Anyways, so Rev, it's been a while. We were talking about it's been a while since you've been definitely in studio.
Yes.
No cars were on fire. This time.
No
Because
cars
you were-
this time.
Because there's background on that, you were coming from the set of was it
That was actually the set of
the
Stephen King film that we
Was it
shot in West
Castle Rock?
Virginia, Castle Rock, and I was supposed to be here, and I was like, all right, cool, we got done. It'll take me a little bit, and then there was this like multi-car pileup with like a car on fire, and we were gridlocked for hours upon hours upon hours. So I completely blame Stephen King.
yes, it's Steve.
Steve.
Big Steve.
Steve, we do better, Steve. But it's been a lot. So I mean, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. So it's good to be back in here and watching some of the crackheads walk past the windows and stuff. And I've missed it. I've really missed it.
Yes, it's so nice to have people back in the studio. Like this is nice, and I don't have to take all the pizza home with me. So
I'll re-add to quarantine 15 then.
there you go. We were talking about your Domino's issue earlier.
Oh my gosh! I should honestly, I should have stock in Domino's. Like the sin was once I realized that it was like the you get the 3 for $5.99, and once it added up, you got free stuff. Then it was just how much free stuff can I get in a month?
That was me. That was me in my 20s because I had a Domino's that was open until 2 a.m.
That is very.
I
Yo,
made terrible decisions.
Yo, I'm getting like a free drink every 2 weeks at the Dunkin' on the corner from my house.
You need to reevaluate your life now.
Yes.
You need to reevaluate your life.
I'm all
now.
right. It's got almond milk. I'm good. I mean, it's not that bad.
It's not like Cambodian breast milk or anything.
What? They have a lot of options, but I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
What does your Dunkin' have?
What
do you?
You find some crazy things when you were in Ohio. That's why I had to come back to Pennsylvania, man.
That's true. I got mad. The only place I could find after a wrestling show pre-COVID out in your area, because I did those Impact shows in Dayton before you moved out there, and I was like, all I can find is a Waffle House.
Now, the only great thing is Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's.
Okay.
Caniac sauce. It is amazing. It is amazing.
What is this? Thankfully, I only pass through Ohio these days. There's not a lot of stops. So see you guys soon, Warrior. But anyways, I can't even transition from that. I don't.
How do you transition from Cambodian breast milk? I don't know.
Wrestling.
So there's been a lot of news. Actually, a show this past weekend from Ring of Honor. We talked about it a little bit last night too. Of course, you've been in the circles with doing the bubble and everything.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years here, part of Shane Taylor Promotions. We have the announcement that we talked about it several weeks ago. Been the announcement with Ring of Honor, and I guess officially they're going on a hiatus at the end after Final Battle, rolling into and with a comeback from April. But strangely, I don't know, but contracts are ended, whether it be end of the year or March, depending on the talent. We saw Jay Lethal already pop out somewhere else. So I mean, I guess we should just what was your reaction when all this news started dropping here a couple weeks ago?
Well, I think my reaction in general really wasn't. I mean, clearly it's a surprise and a shock to a lot of people because now you have to kind of reevaluate what your short term, your mid term, and your long term goals is within your wrestling career.
Yeah.
But more directly associated with myself, with the connection with Shane Taylor Promotions, with all the people that are involved within Shane Taylor Promotions, it really didn't adjust our mental focus too much because we've always been the type that said, okay, we'll do what needs to be done, but we also pride ourselves on being very self-sufficient and, continue to keep the ball rolling by any means necessary. So, with us, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't some adjustment that needed to be done, but it wasn't a full-fledged shock. Our thing was, okay, this is a decision that has to be. Does it sting a little bit? Absolutely. But, however, our goal is to keep the ball rolling and show why Shane Taylor Promotions is the hottest fraction, is the hottest talent out there right now, both individually and as a unit. And, right now that I can see, we're continuing to keep that momentum going. And but just as you said, Sorg, it's one of those things to where, seeing what has been said and looking at the reevaluation and everything like that, and looking for Ring of Honor to come back in April, the next step is really a lot of people asking a lot of us, what are the next steps? And, I've said this on multiple podcasts, I'm saying every door is open at this time. These hands are literally rated E for everyone. We don't care what your door is. We don't care what it's made of. We will kick it open. We will knock at it just out of courtesy. But know that every door is right there for us. So it's up to those particular people that are saying certain things on social media, certain talents at certain companies. If they feel like that they're the best at what they do, they feel like they're the best within their particular unit, within their particular stable, within their particular crew, well, step up. We're right here. Nothing's stopping you. Give us a call. Shoot us an email. Shane Taylor Promotions, LLC @gmail.com. And we'll get back to you in 24 hours or less and let the money run. So that's what we're looking at right now, man.
It is wild.
All right, let me ask.
Okay, go ahead, Matt. The
All right,
reporter is going to ask you a question.
Oh, man, I'm sweating. I need my.
Speaking of the door being open, now I'm going to jump through it.
We're recruiting. We're recruiting.
I know answers might be hard to give, but I at least want to ask the question and ask you. Well, let's put it this way: how much demand is there for Shane Taylor Promotions services right now in other promotions across the country, and where do you think we might see them next when it comes to being on a bigger stage?
Right now, honestly, I believe the demand is high. We've been reached out from a couple of people, and right now it's just kind of managing what are the best business decisions. So not necessarily putting out what companies are, but really like in the long-term aspect of things, what are the best business decisions to make as a unit? And when you look at the longevity and when you look at, where our goals are, where our overall crew mission is, and how can we now implement that mission at whatever company we're at. But I would tell you even right now, just on the higher upper echelons of the independents, pretty much as soon as that news was released, our Gmails and stuff were bing, 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 bing. And it's a good thing. I think even just this previous week, each and every single person of STP has had some type of individual big matchup in general. And we're talking about just a stretch of, 3 to 4 consecutive days in multiple different states. Both championship matches and just main things to set up for championship matches. In regards of that, we have been seeing some people in some companies sniff us out, and not necessarily post that they were tagged in, but they would see posts talking about what we do and what we represent, and we would see certain international, national stars reacting to that in a passive-aggressive manner. So we see all, we look at all, MVP. We look at all, and right now it's about what are the next moves. We have our eyes right now in every single thing. Nothing is off limits for us. We're looking at every single national television product. We're looking at what they're representing. We're looking at how, if we got there, how we can change the game not only for ourselves, but take that particular company to the next level. And right now it's just about if business is able to manage itself in the right way, can we make a good business decision to where everybody wins? And that's been our main thing. That's why we've been using the hashtag Everybody Eats, because we want to be in a position to where we're not only helping ourselves, but we let people know, because you have invested in Shane Taylor Promotions, here's how we're going to help take your company to the next level.
Absolutely.
Has there been a thought of potentially, even if it's just for the short term, to bridge to whatever the next thing would be? Has there been any thoughts about building something entirely new built around Shane Taylor Promotions?
Would
there be any consideration of taking Shane Taylor Promotions on tour essentially and having them be the masthead for a semi-large indie promotion that's going across the country?
I mean, honestly, that's a good question. Believe it or not, someone actually messaged that. Well, actually, they tweeted out about that, just about that, and then more directly, they mentioned about bringing in STP. I'm like, listen, this is what STP can do. And our main thing is not necessarily to, shine a light on us. That opportunity comes when we're in the ring. But if that was an opportunity for us to do something to where we would spearhead something as vast as a company, we don't really want it for us to grow. We want it for it to shine a spotlight on others that we believe have so much potential. And then now we need to see how we can get them to the next level to where more eyes can see what we've already seen in them. And I think that's always been the mindset when you look at what Shane's vision is, when you look at what my vision was when we initially came about 2+ years ago, and seeing people like a Khan and a Moses, and, seeing the destruction of a guy like Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards, and, looking at people like Trish Adora and everything like that. And, our whole mindset was, we know what you have. We understand what you have. Now we want other people to see it. Now, how can we use our platform to continue to grow that? And I think even when you look at what Shane Taylor Promotions has been doing, even on the independents, when it comes to defending the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag team titles, it's been put in the spotlight to showcase whoever that particular top talent is there that we feel should get a little bit of the extra look at the international and the national level. So if that does come about, it wouldn't be one of those things to where it's all about STP, but STP would like to spearhead more change and more movement happening in the world of professional wrestling.
Chachi's got a question out there, and I got a couple other comments from the chat room too. We'll get to, but he's been a big fan of Willow Nightingale over there at Ring of Honor. She just competed in a lot of
positive.
Yeah, a lot of women's wrestling matches over there. Or I think it's where you say you saw her. What are the chances of STP signing Willow?
Right now, we never say never, and I think that's the main thing. We're not at the standpoint where we just want to sign everybody all at once. I think everything has been very strategic in how we've been doing it.
So not like AEW.
No. Well, listen. Now that we're talking about that, since you mentioned it, you open up the door. AEW, if you guys are in the mindset and right now the pattern of signing everybody, you've been seeing the tweets, you've been seeing the Facebook mentions, you've been seeing the Instagram mentions.
A lot of them out there.
Anthony Khan, you have been, and I don't know if your real name is Anthony, but I'll call you Anthony. Anthony Khan, you have been tagged strategically, and they've been tagging me as well. With every single company, especially with them, if you guys want to do business, we are more than capable of doing business. We understand there's some people out there that might feel like they're elite, that they're the best trio. Well, it's easier to call yourself a shark in the water when you haven't battled other sharks to really see if you really have that killer instinct. So the gate's open. However, I digress. When going back to that, our main thing with STP is to be very strategic in what we do. And, our whole mindset is we not only want to be the catalyst of helping other people, but we want it to be a 50-50 to see where they can help us. And I think, even within the last couple of things that we've seen, especially within the Ring of Honor women's division, there's been a lot of females that have been really, really impressing us. Trish Adora being one of them, Willow being another. And we've seen Shane Taylor Promotions congratulate both of them after a very hard-fought match. And right now, our whole thing is, we've had resumes sent in. We have had reels sent in to our email. We've had different things sent in, and people that message us. The door is open for everyone. It's about how bad you want it, and it's about if the stars line up the right way. But there's no discrimination. There's an equal opportunity for everybody to grow. It's just about the right time, the right moment, and the right situation. And hopefully some things align. So Willow is not off the table at all.
I want to get a couple of these comments in before we go to the break and start talking about some stuff that happened locally here. But Tina has a couple of them. First of all, says Swole would be a dope addition to STP. She's saying in the chat. Big Swole. Also, congrats to Shane by picking up the title in Texas this past week.
VIP Wrestling, yeah.
Yep. And we'd like to see STP out here, out in Seattle, she's saying. She knows they're already getting the Briscoes this weekend. So, a lot of good wrestling happened in Seattle. Good to see it's spinning back up, too, because I think it was been a little later getting going than some of the other companies and states, particularly, right? So, but, yeah, hey, maybe some West Coast, maybe some Northwest maybe in the future.
We're all up for everything. And right now we're talking to some people, and hoping that things open up a little bit more. You know, we're even looking to hopefully do a little UK run if possible. You know, there have been some talks about New Japan.
Oh, the UK. So you're talking to Joey Sinceri, right? Because he was just on last week talking about UK.
Yosef, listen. Yosef is my man.
Yosef.
Joey Sinceri. Call him Yosef. Yeah. Hey, Joey's my man. He's killing it over there. We got guys like Cole Carter killing it over there.
Yep.
And our whole main thing is, you know, we're taking this thing international. We need to add more international patches to Shane's jacket. So we're looking to take over, man. So I mean, a lot of things, you know, we want to hit every single state. We want every single state to be saturated with STP. We want every single country to be saturated. And UK, we've had a lot of supporters over there. Actually, we just did a few shows, a few podcasts over there. So, you know, our main thing is line some things up over there. And, you know, Japan's not off the table. So if things line up there, you know, we can even take it over there to Japan and see what's popping over there. We can put a kaiju over there.
Shane was talking about it. I think last time he was in the studio here about he really loved to work with New Japan, and there was I think there was an opportunity that got knocked off because of some tour issues or something like that, right? So, but I mean, with their American outreach and everything, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I'd love to see it. So. And it just feels like everybody's everywhere anyways right now. So I think
honestly, to be honest, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And it's a great time to be a wrestler. And I think that's the main thing of there's so much competitiveness, mainly from the fan standpoint. And I will tell you from my first hand, listen, it's okay to love every single company. You don't have to hate one company to love the other. But at the same time, with us, we love a good, friendly competition. So if you feel like you're the best in one area, we'll knock the door in there. Then we can go right over and knock in the next door if we got some people over there that feel like they're the best company. But, you know, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's a great time to be a wrestler at this time.
It's really nice. So we're going to get a little bit more about some stuff happening here locally that you've been involved with.
Oh, boy.
Yes, we're getting into that Saturday night incident here. But in the meantime, you can see a lot of that in Rev in action this week. Who did you have? Joey O'Reilly, I think.
Joey O'Reilly and a bunch of his
RWA?
goons.
Yeah.
Yes,
He had backup, didn't he?
Yeah.
What do they call them? The Filthy Crew or something
they
like
call
that?
the Low Lives.
The Low Lives.
The Low Lives.
The Low Lives.
Yeah.
Okay. But they were a part of RWA's Open season already up on the network. If you're a YouTube member for IndyWrestling.us, VOD, DVD, all of that available to watch already from Saturday night. We especially that last part, we cobbled together what was happening. Even I had to get up from my table to start shooting some footage with that craziness. But
that was impressive. I saw something. I think so. I sent that over to my agent, by the way, so I can try to see what we can do insurance wise. But
yes,
that was impressive. I saw you in work a couple of times.
Yes. So, but you can check out that and so much more at IndyWrestling.us, the network. With over 400 hours, $5.99 a month, or over on the membership, we have most of the recent shows over there for $4.99 a month on the YouTube member program. Just like the same thing Impact Wrestling is doing with theirs. It worked out so well for them, and we had the offer email, so we hopped on it too, and already have a few people signing up for that, and really appreciate everybody that is supporting us, being able to continue to cover independent professional wrestling and bring some quality video production to independent pro wrestling, that because otherwise Matt will let us know on Discord. Right, so
I just tell it like it is, Sorg.
Yes, you do.
If they would have hired you, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now.
No, because I'd be in LA still, probably.
True.
So I wouldn't be back yet. So is the first problem. I mean, my schedule's already crazy enough. Anyways, so let's get into the elephant in the room, or the multiple elephants stampeding through the room, I think was the case more accurately. Renegade Wrestling Alliance, it's been referred to as the incident. If you're following what's happening there, I know we've been sharing it across a few of our platforms here, but it was some fan footage. But there was a little bit of a breakdown. The main event was J-Rocc and a compatriot of yours, we just mentioned, O'Shea Edwards, which was mostly in Matt's territory.
I'm actually surprised he's alive.
Yeah, because they really like your side of the ring when you're on camera over there, Matt.
They always come my way. Yeah.
Yes, and he's tethered to the ring, so he can't go very far. Actually, I give him about 25 feet of cord. I'm like, this should be plenty to cover a wrestling show.
Yeah, it was.
Not at
well, I mean, you were right. It was plenty to cover a wrestling show, but not like kind of like the aftermath that ended the show.
Yeah.
So you still did good, Sorg. You still did good.
So
It was more than enough to cover, to provide video of a grappling exhibition inside the ring. It was not enough to chase the mayhem that was happening at the end of the show.
Yeah,
This is spectacular.
Derek got taken out.
yeah,
so
we're
bad,
showing some
like-
footage if you guys are with us on the video version of this of O'Shea taking out the promoter of the show, and that's about when things kind of went sideways. We're just going to play this for you guys to kind of talk about what happened here. So basically, what ensued after this was something of the locker room started emptying, and then the locker room started fighting each other. And then this just kind of continued for a while. And there was just kind of destruction and mayhem. And then the fans were asked to leave in the middle of all of this while it was happening all over. And by the way, I did enjoy and was equal parts frightened and impressed by O'Shea seemingly taking out about at least half of the RWA locker room.
Here's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, and if some of you guys that are watching, via the video aspect, when O'Shea is angry, you get the full kaiju out of him, and there's really nothing that can stop that. I mean, you're looking at a guy that's a monster as it is, and when he gets extra angry, it's just like he cranks to a whole nother zone, and you can't stop him. And I think that was the main thing is just us just trying to do us. And I told him, backstage, I said, listen, someone got to get a handle of this. We spoke to the RWA office, and they said, let's send a couple of guys out. Well, they sent out, respectfully, 2 of the toothpicks. And so when everything broke down, I was talking to one of them. I said, listen, you guys got to do your job. They need us to stop this. And the next thing you know, there was pushing back and forth, a lot of testosterone going in the air, a lot of pea and vinegar up in the air, and the next thing you know, bam, and I can't even tell you what exactly started everything. I know it was pushing and shoving, and the next thing you know, fists were being thrown.
Climbing a ladder. How'd you get on the ladder?
I thought it was my safe haven. I kind of went back to when I wrestled Jordan, and I'm like, if I'm up high, I can see more. But then it was like I turned around and Jordan was right there, and nice I know he had a chair in his hand. But I'm like, if I'm up high, and Matt will tell you, it's a whole reporter mentality to where if I elevate myself away, I'm not on the same level, and I can see all of the threats. And that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. I got hit with pop, water bottles, everything. I think some of your equipment almost got broke on the stage.
Yeah, it was a lot there. I'm not happy about J-Rocc throwing my stuff around over here.
Yeah, because I remember even you tweeted out, I was like, listen, we got to do an evaluation. I mean, chairs were being broken. Fans were having to get moved out of the way and everything toward that extent. I think even I took a chair at one point and tried to crack somebody's leg. And my thing is, as a wrestler, when you get trained, you're trained to, okay, this is how the art of professional wrestling is done. But however, you're also trained to another level of this is how you defend yourself if things get out of hand. So at some point, you have to take off the wrestler cap and be like, okay, now you're in a part where you have to defend yourself. You have to, if no one else is going to look out for you, this is at a point where you can't talk reason to no one. So I think it was a lot of that where a lot of people are just looking at the side of defense. When you're in a fight, there's no such thing as fighting fair. It's no just, I'm just going to punch you in the face. You have to survive, or the unexpected is able to happen. And I think a little bit of that, did get out of control. I think our security did the best job that they could possibly do. RWA management did the best job they could possibly do. And they were able to get things under control, probably a little bit better than what a lot maybe have expected. But pro wrestling is unexpected, man. And I honestly, I'll tell you, I've never seen anything like that in the history of 10 years, both in a good way and a bad way. And I think once the adrenaline wore off, it was more in the bad way, because I'm feeling it, dude. I'm feeling it. My chiropractor already told me off, so I'm feeling it, man.
No, absolutely. It was one of the craziest things. Matt, you were in the middle of it more than I was even. I came out kind of halfway through this to try to assess the situation and help
Did
out.
he hit somebody with a
But,
camera?
well, did you, Matt? In self-defense?
Of course not. That is absurd. I would never do such a thing. I am, after all, merely there to document the events. I'm not there to participate. Even though sometimes, the wrestlers don't leave me much of a choice. But, you talk about RWA management having to get control of the situation. The fact that, to get control of the situation, to bring the melee to an end, they had to evacuate the building, and even then, the brawl continues, I couldn't believe, I've never seen so many people fight, as just for themselves, it's just crazy. And another thing, Rev, I have to call you out on this.
Oh boy.
Real quickly. Because I was right there when things really started to escalate, specifically involving you. I was mere feet away from you. And, I don't want to point fingers at anything like this and blame anyone for who might have escalated things, because obviously everyone had a hand. But what was happening between you and Jordan Styles was extremely personal. You were chasing this man across the entire room. And I'm just wondering if were you was this an opportunity for you, to take some revenge that perhaps an opportunity you might not have otherwise had under normal circumstances? I'm just wondering what your mindset was. You seemed very driven to pursue Jordan all over the place.
Yeah, well, I think here's the thing, and going back to it, any time we're trained as a wrestler, when we hear that bell ringing consistently, it's for at least hopefully a couple of guys to be in the alert that, listen, we might need you to go out there, things are getting out of control. Now, when all helter skelter happens, and I'm like, well, we're already here. Unfortunately.
You're at a point of no return.
Yeah,
point.
You're at a point of no return, and I think it kind of went back to that high school mentality to where it's like, if I'm in trouble, I might as well finish the job. The trouble's not going to change, and there's been a lot of tension with Jordan and I throughout the years, and just kind of going back to our street fight years before that, and started out as great friends, and then things happen, life happens. So I looked at that as a time of saying, listen, I don't know when I'm going to get this opportunity again. I got my other eyes focused on other things during the shows, but this time right here, I'm going to release all this intensity. I'm not going to punch an innocent wrestler. I'm not going to punch a friend of mine, but I will punch a foe of mine. And unfortunately, Jordan's face looks very punchable. So he was there, and that's what happened. And some things carried on and to places that we probably shouldn't have been, and things got broke that shouldn't have got broken. It is what it is.
They feel bad in the midst of all this.
Yeah, I kind of feel
you
bad
and Jordan
for him,
going
man.
at it.
Yeah,
again.
see, hold on, wait, Matt. Fake news, fake news. Did you wait? I was chasing him.
Watch yourself. You're.
I was innocent.
Goodness.
You see,
Rev,
I was
you should know
innocent.
better. Don't use that language around.
I
here.
was
Go on.
I was hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok.
Rev, I'm trying to be nice about this. I was mere feet away from you.
So did Jordan trip on me? Did Jordan trip on me?
I just know you were right there, and the next thing I knew, you were swinging, and everything was going crazy. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you started it. I'm just saying I was a few feet away from you. I saw you start swinging, and the next thing I knew, everybody was fighting. So I don't.
Listen, some things happen. Some things are a little bit, out of control. Now, for those that are watching video, I might have got a little bit intense, but once you tackle me, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and sometimes a table for a table. Even if Victor Benjamin has Butterfingers on the table, it's just it is right. What it is.
There was a Butterfinger involved in this. Oh, jeez, that's a terrible.
Never been
that
a
is
harder
a
table.
Oh, yeah, that's what my chiropractor got to me.
Thick table.
Yeah.
Thick table that just got broken.
Yeah, and
that table has 2 C's on it.
And you got John Roden checking on you there. Jeez.
Yeah, the AJ there. It was one of those things, but believe it or not, that was the building isn't owned by RWA.
No, it isn't.
RWA actually have good working relationship with the building, the venue.
They've been there for over
holders,
10 years.
Over 10 years, and that was actually their table.
Yeah.
That was handcrafted oak.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was very, 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 very hard. And so, I mean, when it came over there, AJ punched him. He went over there. And all I can see is I want to inflict pain now. If you're going to tackle me and try to end my career, I'm going to try to end your career. Now, I wasn't thinking this is oak.
You're thinking table. I know what to do with this, right?
I just thought, listen, I've talked to Devon a couple of times. I got the table.
Devon was there.
I got the table. I thought he was there.
Look in your
The
eye.
spirit of Devon is in that building.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I was just like, some people say, like WWJD in church. What would Jesus do? And mine was WWD. What would Devon do? Devon would put somebody through a table.
Mm-hmm.
And
I gotta be honest. Like, I think if Devon saw that table, he'd be like, "Let's go find another table."
Somebody
Like,
send
I
him
think
that
that's what
clip.
Devon would say.
Matt, you've seen ECW.
There's
listen,
You've seen
listen,
ECW.
listen,
Rev,
Matt,
you tell me.
Matt.
I've seen some ECW. No one in ECW has ever gone through a table like that.
Matt.
There's never been a table like that.
We
in
are
professional
stretching the truth a little bit. When you look at the Dudley Boys, you mean to tell me like a person like Mae Young has never been injured?
wrestling. I mean, of course. Like, where are we going with this?
All I'm saying is, if there's a table, something might happen to it. I do not discriminate on if it is oak. I don't discriminate. It doesn't have to be cherry blossom, a weeping willow. It doesn't have to be a pine tree. It's a table, and it inflicts pain. And at that time,
honestly,
I needed pain.
You would have
the
had
Dudleys
better
would-
luck trying to put him through a tree outside than you were going to have trying. And the thing still broke. That's the incredible part of this thing.
Yeah.
But this was like an Amish-built dining room table.
Sorry, Amish
So
community.
you know who would have used it? Roadkill, easily.
There it is.
But I think the Dudleys would have seen that table as a challenge.
If I asked one of my colleagues, like PCO, I'm pretty sure he would have told me that I did a great job. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, my body, absolutely not. My neck is stiff, my back has spasms, and I got to go to a chiropractor and I got a doctor's appointment. Was it worth it? At that time, yes. Right now, preferably not. I'll let you know when I wake up tomorrow morning if it's worse. However, I'm pretty sure if the oak table could talk, it would tell me thank you for making it relevant and putting it over.
Thanks for the rub. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about O'Shea real quick. Like, and this is one of the nice things about RWA is you get to see guys who don't typically get to spread their wings in these, what would you call national promotions? The second tier national promotions. So you get to see guys like Cody Deaner and O'Shea Edwards and Sam Beal, and they get to come into the RWA.
And Crazy
and
Steve.
You don't get Crazy Steve too. That's another good name. And you don't get to see him for a few minutes. You get to see him for like 12, 15 minutes, and you get to see what they can do. And O'Shea's, arsenal is so vast, that I don't think a lot of people realize that from just watching him in ROH, if that's the only place that you see him. He is scary.
Mm-hmm.
He is menacing.
Mm-hmm.
But also just just super skilled and tough, and just I was really impressed with just everything he brought to the table. Like, even when they were just out there, hyping up the match a little earlier in the show, they are out there cutting promos on each other. And O'Shea was great, and I never had a chance to hear him talk in that kind of an environment. He's got so much going for him, so very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And also scared, but
Mm-hmm.
also impressed.
Well, I mean,
Once
I
you
don't think you
escaped
soiled
it,
your pants.
you're kind of like,
I don't think you soiled your pants. So if you were scared, you kind of hit it pretty well. And I don't know if that was your camera that he looked directly into, and it seemed like he was staring the soul out of it.
I think it was Rob's.
That
was
I
Rob's
think he did both of you guys. But...
Yeah, Rob probably soiled his pants.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what happens. But I think that's one of the main things that a lot of people think, just as a misconception of, you see this big, muscular just meathead, and you're like, there's no way that this person can put together a sentence or, play the game of chess in this world of professional wrestling. I think 10 steps ahead of you. But, O'Shea, just as the rest of the STP, very articulate, very menacing, but at the same time, we think, he's a mastermind. He's a mastermind. And, I think the most dangerous thing is when you have this aggression and you have this anger, but then you have this critical thinking expertise, and you combine that together. I don't think there's nothing more dangerous than an angry monster that can think 10 steps ahead of you. And right when you think you've thought 2 steps, he's like, I already knew you were going to do that. And here we go. We're going to take this to another level. And he's always going to play the game in his court. And that's what you get with a monster like O'Shea Edwards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I don't know what's next. I think we're still waiting on. I haven't seen if there's any updates from RWA, but again, there's a lot of fan cam, different angles of what happened, and I'm seeing stuff on the fan cam that we didn't even capture in our cameras. We had 3 cameras out there.
Yeah, because I think you posted some on Facebook, you posted some on TikTok.
Yeah. Yep.
And a few other places. So like I said, I think we're all kind of, I don't know what everyone else's team is doing, but I know I got my personal team, like my agent and my normal talent agent, my insurance agent, and everything. Kind of looking into that. But I know honestly the night of, I was getting reached out to people states out. Both independent and TV wise. I'm like, dude, like what the heck happened? Are you okay? It's on Reddit. There's this, there's that, there's this or that, and you don't always want to see something like that happen. I think the main thing is, like I said, the security, RWA management, they did the best out of this crazy situation, and the main thing is no fans were hurt. And I think that was the main thing. Us, we're used to bumps and bruises. If I get put in the hospital, it's the nature of the beast. I signed up for the profession. But the fact that, through all the helter-skelter, we were able to keep fans 100% safe, you can't think of anything, if you look at anything good out of a bad situation, it's that.
Absolutely. There's a little bit of fan cam when things started breaking down a little bit of another angle from that. It's all at RWA's Facebook page, and then we've been putting it up a little bit on some of the indie wrestling stuff too, as we're kind of breaking down what's going on out there. So
we got a question in the chat room.
Okay,
that's
go
very
ahead.
relevant
Go
before
ahead.
we move on. There's just someone in here who says, Ashley wants to know, do you think O'Shea crossed the line when he touched Derek? Not just touched him.
Yeah, that was not a light touch.
Turned the lights out.
That was not
on
a
him,
caress.
but-
That's not a O'Shea. That's not a kaiju caress that he gave him. I ain't putting him in a tough spot here. It's his teammate over there.
So here's the thing. Anyone that knows Phil Bad knows that he loves RWA with all of his heart. I think that some of that passion can get him in trouble at times. Now, when you look at when the locker room cleared out, some of us were hesitant. I know me. I'm like, listen, y'all handle that. I'll talk to him because I can speak his language. I'm like the kaiju tamer. However, I don't think that it was the best move for Phil Bad to go into the ring after that. You're looking at a monster that is out of control at this time, that his emotions are coming out of him, and let alone you tried to grab him from behind. He doesn't know who's behind him. So it's a fight or flight mentality. Unfortunately, Derek gets involved in that. So do I think that it was the right thing? No. But do I understand why it happened? Yes. And I think that's the fine line that leaves it for a lot of people to interpret of, was it the right thing? Was it the wrong thing? Now, may there be repercussions within that because Derek is management, let alone one of the highest tiers of management? There might be some repercussions. That's up to RWA management. But, I don't agree with it, but I see why it happened, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, in defense of O'Shea, I mean, Rev is absolutely correct. Like and the shot is there thanks to Rob, who's running that camera in the corner. Like O'Shea has no idea who's coming up behind him.
Yeah.
And like the camera and Rob is right there. If O'Shea wants to knock out our cameraman Rob, he can do that. A few moments earlier, he has a steel chair like literally right in front of me. And does he knock me down? Or do anything to me? I'm right there. No, he doesn't do that. So there are definitely people that O'Shea was not going to, take action against.
It's similar to the thing that happened with Lashley and Goldberg's son. Goldberg's son jumped Lashley from behind. Lashley attacked him. He didn't know who that was.
Mm-hmm.
It's innocent. Maybe you shouldn't get attack someone from behind or like try and stop them.
So my question is to whoever asked that question, okay? If you're in a grocery store, you're shopping for some food, you're getting irritated, don't have what you need, something random comes from behind you and just like smacks you upside the head or tries to pull you around, are you going to just be like, oh, wait, it's probably someone's Grandma Agnes, let me not react? Or are you going to save yourself from getting attacked from behind? That's my only question. I'm not condoning grandmothers.
You're gonna grab the frozen peas in your cart.
You're gonna smack somebody with frozen peas. It is what it is. I'm not condoning what O'Shea did. And we've had some small conversations even after event. And when I say small, it's like very one-worded type. So you got to let a monster like him breathe. And I just said, whenever you're willing to talk, I'm here. Mm-hmm. And just leave it at that. But certain things you can't control. I believe, this is me looking optimistic. Things probably would have been different if Derek would have, maybe confronted him from the front or he's seen who he was. But just as you said, Rob is right there. He very well could easily just took a bite out of his camera like Mike Tyson. He could have knocked Rob out. I think the only people that he knocked out was Derek and unfortunately the referee for kind of pulling a chair off of him and getting involved in that way, and that was face-to-face. But
it wasn't no holds barred match,
by
the way.
Yeah.
So that obviously got...
But at that point, J-Rocc was defenseless, tied to the ring post.
He was.
I mean, I think the referee was, and maybe the referee did go too far. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. But I don't know. But I'm not a referee. Like, do you think he should have intervened in that moment?
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, I don't think the referee intervened years ago when my mother was handcuffed and gagged at RWA.
Mm-hmm.
The referees really didn't intervene until I was out of the ring at one point when I had Chris Taylor handcuffed. Certain things, it's easy to say how you handle certain emergencies, and it's a whole nother thing when you're not expecting things to get like they do. And now all of a sudden you have 50 million thoughts. Do I intervene? Do I not intervene? Do I not do it because it's a no holds barred, or do I do it because I'm still a human and I don't want to see what the next outcome of this is? And I think at that time it's just a very quick. You have to react in a matter of seconds, and it just might be the wrong decisions for that ref. It was the wrong decision because now you come face to face with a big, angry, big bad kaiju. And, he met his maker. He didn't quite get called to heaven, but he was close to it.
There's questions in the chat room about, did J-Rocc make a mistake agreeing to that stipulation against O'Shea there?
I think it was a mistake. Honestly, I think any mistake for anybody to step in the ring with O'Shea Edwards is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my own personal opinion.
We got Justin Idol in here. And you did have a interaction with him during the fracas, but he says he's lying. I saw Rev hit a small child. The footage has not reflected that thus far. I'll just say that. What's this? What is this look?
Well, again, what did the small child do to you? If that happened,
is true. We don't know that the small child is innocent.
Honestly, I think he might have a concussion. I don't know how, Idol, if you're watching, I don't know how he saw that. But however, I saw Idol hiding underneath the ring. So I don't know how you saw that hiding underneath the ring.
I didn't see this. Like, you found him underneath the ring?
I looked under the ring for like an additional weapon to fend people off. And as I go to reach, I make contact with an arm. And I'm like, I don't remember Hornswoggle getting booked. So I go to pull, and long behold, it's Justin Idol. Mm-hmm. And then, he's looking at me like, hey, what are you doing here? Well, what are you doing down there? And so, Idol and I have some history at other federations. We had a little bit of fisticuffs. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you mean by small child. Mm-hmm. That's what you mean, because you were acting like one, Idol. So therefore, if you don't have facts about that, I didn't hit a small child. You probably did, and I'll call Chris Hansen or somebody on it.
Whoa,
but
hey,
however,
whoa.
Listen, man. Where's the facts? Where's the facts?
Rev is a cheater. I've been saying it for years, always trying to cut corners.
Oh, I mean, I'm a little shocked because I didn't really see this with my own eyes. But like, you telling me that like during the mother of all independent professional wrestling melees, Justin Idol was hiding under the ring?
Yes.
There's been talks about defining small child. I think is that a middle finger emoji? Is that in here?
That is a middle finger emoji.
Okay.
No, they still had that. All right.
Okay. I thought that would be against Apple policy there. But anyways.
Oh, cheap shot at Professor Edwin. Come on, chat room. Be better. Do better,
No,
chat.
No, Matt. Those are just facts. That man is not a professor. Until he shows me a degree.
There's that too. Yes.
That man is not a professor. He can be a learned man, but he is not a professor.
Well, either way, I think we've hit the details as much as we can. I'm hearing about things that I haven't even seen on footage yet, and I've seen 5 cameras worth of footage so far, if not 6 actually. And
you see something different every time.
Yes, you really do.
You see something different.
You really do. It's just like, I don't know. So we're gonna go to the break here, collect ourselves for a minute. We'll talk some more wrestling in a second, but let's give a shout out, of course, our good friends, New York City Style, Yinzer Bay, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. Slice on Broadway, so good you can drive it 6 hours and eat it rewarmed in your friend's kitchen. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was delicious.
Yes, it was. Check them out. Feeding our guests here as they come in, because the guests are coming back, and I think there's going to be even more in studio going on here in the next few weeks. We do have a lot going on, including I was not hiding under the ring, and another live from Rev. Well, okay. We're looking for corroboration on that. But check out our friend Slice on Broadway. Hey, guys, we'll be back after this quick break. Oh, it's like 4 minutes. If you're with us live. That's why you listen to the podcast. It goes over quicker, but then you don't see Spider-Man Bad Mike. Or the footage that we were sharing. We'll be right back after this.
Legendary podcast.
Watch out on the TV network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
To what you're saying.
Former tag team partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
And now a public service announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. Now, I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team effort. And if we're being completely honest, some of you need not only this mask, but this mask too.
Wrestling Mayhem show, and we're literally talking about Mayhem here with the RWA Open season incident. I feel weird putting those words together. It seemed like it's just like the time when I made a cover for an old show, and it was open season. Shane Taylor, I think, was a champion. It was, and I just put a target on him, and I realized in retrospect that maybe wasn't a good look. At the time. So I'm like, it's a good idea that I made at like 1 a.m. and I was like, I don't know about this one now that I'm seeing it on the table.
Sometimes you gotta sleep on something and look at it the next day. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Somebody tell me when I mess up, please. So let's see. Wheels wants to know who threw his speaker.
Whoops.
Gotta check the video now.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know. I didn't
know what it is.
Wheels, do your own research.
If anyone out there who was at the RWA show has photographic or video evidence of Justin Idol hiding underneath the ring, we need to put this to bed. So just let us know.
Someone has to have it.
Jeez.
We can't just take the Rev's word for it, you know.
Yeah, and I also want to point out the culprits of near riot situations in the past. Marshall Gambino and Ryan Edmonds were nowhere near this situation.
Isn't that the surprising thing? That was a surprising thing. I was like, out of everything, 2 main people weren't even there.
There was also, until we disclosed, there was a secret live feed that we didn't do it publicly. Like we didn't have this set up to. Well, we weren't set up and did not plan to. But we do a live feed as a backup if we can. And I think Marshall had a link to it. And I just imagine him just with the whiskey in the hand applauding the Mayhem at the end of the night. So just putting that out there. I mean, this is I still need to send it. I mean, this is similar situation happened in Leechburg. I think were you there for that one? I don't know if that was one you were on.
I don't think I was there
Leechburg
for
brawl,
that one.
the one where somebody got thrown over the bar.
Oh yeah, I definitely wasn't there for that one. I wish I was.
You were at the first Leechburg.
Yeah.
You weren't at the second one. So, but yeah, and that's why I'm worried, because that's the kind of stuff happens when you don't come back to a venue. So I'm concerned.
It's still to be determined. I believe we were talking about this before, that a couple people saw that the cops actually patrolled. I don't think that they came in. I know no one got tased or maced or nothing.
I did see them drive by as things were being cleaned up like that. But they were definitely around. So, but the door was open, the ring was getting breaking down, so there wasn't really much for them to really see or anything like that. So I don't know if there's been discussions. I have heard almost radio silence from RWA management.
Yeah.
Did not talk to Derek much that night because he looked pretty worse for wear, obviously. I mean, you saw it in the footage if you saw some of that. So, somebody saying, I think I saw Tad Jarvis grab the speaker as they were leaving the stairs to head down. So they got piecing together. So,
everyone's pointing fingers. We need evidence.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
You know, pick or vid, or it didn't happen.
Well, Matt, respectively, you know, I said I needed evidence when you said I was hunting Jordan all around, and then you saw the evidence of Jordan attacking me.
You know, I'll go back through my footage and see what I can find, and we'll see. I'm like, I didn't like I said, I didn't mean to make you think that I'm pointing a finger at you, because that was not my intention. I was just saying that you know, you were right there next to me and you started swinging on somebody and then everything went crazy.
I will tell you this. If I am in the right and you are indeed wrong, which I know you are, I want to make a wager that once you are wrong, you make a public apology, but then you also deliver me a large slice on Broadway pizza right to my doorstep.
You know, I'm a man of my word, and I will apologize to you if it is found that it was indeed not you who set off the whole melee. The pizza, I mean, sure. I love pizza.
Okay, well, let's shake on it.
Any excuse to come hang out. It sounds good to me.
It's been a while since you guys
shops involved.
It's been a while since you guys worked together. So, geez. So there's other wrestling that happened this weekend. I understand. We watched through the technical difficulties of Bleacher Report or whatever else was going on. Matt, you said you had a couple of specific matches you wanted to bring up from this weekend.
Oh, yes. First one I want to get into, just because I have a feeling we'll be getting into the other match I want to talk about, the one at Full Gear. But I want to mention one that was at Battle in the Valley, the New Japan show in San Jose. There was a 10-man tag on the undercard.
Yes.
With Team Filthy versus Fred Rosser and an assortment of friends. This was amazing, just crazy. The crowd was going nuts. They're teasing, you know, all these big dives. Alex Zane was in there doing just some spectacular stuff. J.R. Kratos, you know who J.R. Kratos is, right, Sorg?
Big dude. Big dude did a flying, running dive over the top rope to the floor. Yep.
On top of all the other guys. Alex Coughlin, moments later, Alex Coughlin deadlifts J.R. Kratos and just tosses him. Just spectacular. And the best part about the match is the crowd just is going mental. When Kratos hits the dive and Coughlin hits that slam, like, it literally sounds like the roof is going to blow off the arena. So that was a spectacular match. And that was super fun to watch. And I just wanted to make sure that got highlighted, because we've been, you know, dunking on poor New Japan for most of the last 24 hours. So we're going to say something nice about their show.
You might be able to say something nicer if STP is eventually there.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Hey, STP, you got 5 guys. Yeah. Team Filthy has 5 guys.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, that sounds amazing. Yeah, absolutely. The other match I wanted to mention from Full Gear, CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston.
Jeez.
Just making goddamn magic. I just was in heaven watching this entire thing. I can't believe how quickly and spectacularly that whole thing came together. It was just this bright, shining light of awesomeness. It's just so, and it's just messy, nasty guys who don't like each other, you know, power walk into the ring during their entrances and not posing because they just want to fight each other. It's just so freaking good. I don't know what else to add to it. I'm kind of leaving the floor open here in case you guys want to drop in any thoughts. But like,
I think the only thing I want to say is, and it's weird to say this because Eddie Kingston is a vet all on his own prior to him even getting consistent national exposure with All Elite Wrestling. But I still even feel like he's still underrated and slept on. And so I really do think it is great to see him, at that level, but not only at that level, but carrying his own name and not having to have anyone carry it for him. Like, he's the type of guy that'll literally punch you in the mouth and think nothing of it. But at the same time, we know a guy like CM Punk is also one that'll punch you in the mouth and not think anything of it and doesn't care, and he's going to do what's best for him. So just in general, man, you got to applaud it. You have to applaud it.
Absolutely.
It's been amazing to watch Eddie because, I mean, I'm one of those fans who just had no idea. Before he showed up in AEW, I had no idea. So this has all been a new experience for me.
And he set this up.
It's amazing. Like that door, the door for Eddie Kingston to reach into the mainstream was cracked open that much, and he kicked it in all the way. And it's beautiful to see that when a wrestler gets just the tiniest opportunity, and they never give that back, and because they're ready and they're awesome, and there's no turning back. That's the cool part.
Yeah, I was finally able to read that article that he dropped last week. Just the story of, him showing up for what he thought was a one-off, and then he just turned it into them signing him, like, on the spot. That's absolutely incredible. And, like, it couldn't happen to a guy who deserves it more. Like really, he has been. There is not. I want to say Eddie Kingston is the guy whose segment you go out of the way to watch.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a match, a 2-minute promo, or anything, or whatever.
Agreed.
Commands the room and commands the camera.
Yeah, and in a different way than anyone else on that roster. Because, like, you can say, Punk does that, Jericho does that, Bryan does that. Yeah, you can say a lot of people do it. Britt does that. But the way Eddie Kingston does it, it's just manic. It's almost like if you're watching Seinfeld. Anytime Kramer pops in the scene, he's like a violent Kramer. And it's very cool.
I think that's tweetable. I have never thought about it that way, and I'm scared to say in a way I slightly might agree. I don't know what's more scary, but yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah, because it's just like it doesn't matter if he's interacting with Penta, his best friend, or
it's my best
Moxley,
friend,
or Moxley, his other best friend, or Punk, or whoever. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, you put Eddie Kingston in a segment with someone, it's going to be amazing.
You're right. It's not an isolated incident, because you even go back to All Out just a few months ago, and he had that match against Miro. And I know that I was hearing from other fans too when we were there in the building. They're like, I'm not missing Eddie versus Miro. This is going to be awesome. It's not just the result. It's like Eddie brings anticipation. So that when you get Danielson versus Eddie, you're like, I am not missing this. This is going to be great. And it is. And then they tell you Punk and Eddie are going to have a promo battle in the ring. And I'm not missing this. And it delivers. So it's not just how Eddie is delivering. It's the fact that he brings all the anticipation with him too. So that everything he does is just an event now that you don't want to miss.
Like, I mean, Eddie was even able to save that exploding death match.
Oh.
Seriously.
Technically, I thought that was going to be known as the match that should not be mentioned.
No, but I don't work for them. I can mention it. But like he even saved that. because he showed such like real feeling and emotion, and the promo they did afterwards just made it that much better. Like it was that when it was just like he can spin shit into gold. He
can cut promos on food.
Mm-hmm.
His skill set is limitless. Apparently.
Let me tell you about pasta. I don't like pasta. Like, and I believe I'll be sitting there like, yeah, screw this plate and throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Like, fuck spaghetti. It's fine.
Yeah. Who needs meatballs? Yeah, overrated.
Wow. But it's just like, he has such a unique presence, and it's something that has been missed in wrestling. Like he almost kind of reminds me of the Sandman back in ECW, like because when Sandman came out, you knew shit was gonna get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't always going to be the best technical wrestling, wasn't always going to be the most intelligible,
but it kept your attention.
But you knew it was gonna get interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good comparison, actually. There's a lot of similarities there, so I second that. Was there anything else from the weekend that you guys wanted to highlight here?
Yeah, so we touched on a lot of it last night, I know, but no, that really nothing more than what we said last night. And there is a pay-per-view this weekend. There is one of the big four, the Survivor Series up at Barclays. And I'm not feeling it. I'm going to get back and I'm going to watch it, but and if anybody wants to come over to the studio for it, but I really can't tell you what I'm going to. I mean, Roman and Big E, I want to see.
Yeah.
No, see, here's the thing. The matches are going to be very good.
Yes.
The matches are going to be very good, and we say this all the time. I feel it does need to be stated.
Mm-hmm.
The Damian Priest Shinsuke Nakamura match, that sounds like a banger. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's two guys who I don't think I've ever seen against each other.
No.
I think that's going to be really good. The elimination matches are almost always a treat to watch. WWE typically does those very well. Becky versus Charlotte, always an interesting concept, no matter how many times we see it. RK Bro versus the Usos, that has potential to be a really good match. And it's probably going to end with Randy Orton catching an Uso in midair with an RKO. Like you do. And Big E versus Roman is going to be great because Big E and Roman are great. But it's just none of it fucking matters.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very empty, because you're right. I mean, like there's no doubt everyone on that card can do a great job when it's time to have the match. The matches aren't the issue. It's anticipation, it's stakes, it's story, all those things that need to be expected from the industry leader. When it's not being delivered, it's really disappointing. So yeah, we'll see some good wrestling on Sunday, I'm sure. The really interesting one will be, now I'm second guessing myself. Becky and Charlotte will be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'll both be professional under a microscope in that situation, and seeing how they handle Big E versus Roman will be interesting too. Because I don't think they're going to beat Roman, but hopefully they do a good job protecting Big E also.
And there is always the possibility of someone else showing up after that match or during that match.
Are you saying that you're going to have a run-in? Are you giving us the hint?
No, I don't fucking know. I'm just saying it is the 25th anniversary of The Rock. And it's in New York City. It's entirely possible.
I'll text him for you and let you know what he says.
Okay, yeah. Tell him, yo, DJ, Mad Mike says hi.
Yeah. That's right. Shane Taylor Promotions has been interacting with The Rock on Twitter lately.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And you can thank Shane for that.
Yeah.
That now a lot of the masses in the world have their answer now about just how all these elbow pads keep getting thrown out. So you can find that on The Rock's Twitter.
I actually
and
really loved seeing that. Like, I'm like, of course they manufactured the elbow pads. That makes all the sense in the world.
Yep.
Makes all the sense.
Yep.
It's just like the Bret Hart shades, only it's mid-match. Now, I wonder what would happen on the rare occasion where he had to do two people's elbows. Like, because he'd have to throw off the other one.
He would do that. Remember, he would do that. He would do a second one.
he would do that.
The one was gone. He'd reach for it, pause for a second, realizing he was wrong, grab the other one, and throw it. So, and then wasn't there one time? I feel like there's one time he did a third one.
Yeah, and what did he grab? He took off something else.
I think he just pantomimed it and did it anyways. Like the one that I'm remembering.
No, all right. Okay,
I'm sure this has happened multiple times.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean...
I'm trying to look this up because there's definitely a time where he put some. I think he grabbed an elbow pad that had fallen in the ring, put it on, and then took it
back off.
Yeah,
like there has to have been like miscues at some point of that. Like it slips off, he drops it.
We're discounting the greatest people's elbow of all time. Was when he was in the dress shoes.
Oh, with the slide.
The slide.
I wear dress shoes just
where
so
that
I
could
can
have been
eventually accidentally do that.
That could have been real bad, but it looked like the Matrix. It was great.
They're mentioning in the chat room about how they're pushing that 25th anniversary really hard, including the photo shoot with Rhea Ripley, Damian, and Riddle.
I actually love.
I saw hers.
They had one with all three of them on the same.
It was great. It was absolutely great.
Are they all in the like Rocks? Are they different versions
No,
of the Rock?
no,
Or
they're
they're
eras of the
Riddle.
Rock.
Riddle is in Rocky Maivia gear.
Oh, jeez, I need to look this up. Hold on a
Riddle's
second.
in Rocky
find that.
Maivia debut gear, and I think Damien's wearing the $500 suit, right?
Yeah,
$500 shirt.
I believe so, yes. And I believe Rhea is sporting the turtleneck and fanny pack combo.
Oh, absolutely.
Iconic turtleneck
Absolutely.
fanny pack.
Honestly, I hope that's what she comes to the ring in on.
Oh boy, there you
Yep.
go.
That's it.
Jeez, Damian
I mean,
Priest.
Damian Priest is
That's
really
spot on.
close.
I thought that was
Look
just
at
The
this
Rock.
guy.
That's like The Rock, like back when, like in that mid Scorpion King type era, right there. He wasn't too big, but he wasn't skinny. But
Jeez, the Riddle Rocky Maivia is hilarious.
right, he got
Honestly,
the baby
they're all
face smile.
killing it. They're all killing it.
He got the baby face smile.
I love it. Fanny pack and all. I can't believe that.
Well, I guess
That
as we're talking
reminds me
about
of
this,
the,
put a notebook in it. Next year, 2022 RWA Halloween show. The Rev will be in full rock gimmick. I'm talking about theme music and everything. It's going down. Match just like The Rock. I promise you, it's happening. I gotta drop Cowboy Rev after 3 years, just for one show, so I can do the whole Rock deal.
I like it.
Now,
Definitely.
wait, which Rock are you going to be?
You got to come to the show and find out.
Oh.
I might and listen. I might be every single one.
Three faces of
I love
Rock.
that.
Three
faces of Rock.
If there's a battle royal,
So you know what? Here's what you do. You get someone to paper mache you a scorpion body, and you come out as a Scorpion King.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you really do.
You know, and the funny thing is,
The
doggone
important
well,
thing
I
is
can
to
pull
tell
that
everyone
off.
you're dressing up as The Rock before that show, and then you
Uh-huh.
come out as the Scorpion King. That is some heat.
Or you dress up as oh god, as the his character from that.
I'm gonna
that
be the
Disney
Tooth
movie,
Fairy.
The game plan.
I'm gonna be the Tooth Fairy.
Wasn't that Vin Diesel?
No, that was a Rock.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was-
Then be a Tooth Fairy. Absolutely.
it was a Rock, and then it was Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
So
And have someone else say they're
many
going to
different
dress up
things
as
I can do with
Hogan
it.
and have them come out as Suburban Commando.
Oh,
You haven't lived until you've told your kids, leave your tooth under your pillow, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will come in the middle of the night. I mean, does that sound better than a tooth fairy?
And he will say, it doesn't matter if you lost a tooth.
You have a point. That's good.
Oh, jeez. You have to use that one.
I might start pulling
That sounds amazing.
All right. Well, at that point, I don't think there's much more to say about Survivor Series. We'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it. I'm sure it'll work a lot better than Bleacher Report this weekend. Guys, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh, boy.
Chat room 2, please hit me up.
All right.
I got all the chat rooms up here.
Sorg, I learned something about wrestling this week. I learned that it doesn't matter how good a wrestling show is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking any wrestling show, any promotion, any time frame. You can have every spot hit. You can have every segment be a banger, every match be perfection laid out. There is no one anywhere in the world that will ever top in production of an overall product. No one ever tops Disney. And I say this having experienced Disney Magic Kingdom Christmas time. It was a fucking magic show.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was absolutely stunning, the things they were able to do. And just all right, this is more about my Disney weekend, but it's just
I kind of figured that.
It's just the overall production of everything that was involved.
Mike,
in
Mike, do you want to show us a slideshow of your vacation while we're at it?
I don't have it available right
now.
Okay. But because everything comes down to entertainment. Wrestling, I've talked about how Monster Jam is wrestling. Disney is wrestling too, and they know exactly who to put over and how to put them over. Like, it's absolutely wild, just some of the shit that they'll do. And if the rumors are true about Disney possibly looking into buying WWE, I fucking hope so.
See, that's what I've been saying.
Because, my God, you want to talk... WWE's production values are top tier.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get an Imagineer doing a Hell in a Cell match, that shit's going to be amazing.
All I'm saying, if they do go that route, whoever's owning it, whether it's Mr. Vincent or anyone else,
or Mr. Mouse,
yes, Mr. Mouse, Mr. Mouse, we have history, and if Chris,
you do. That's right. The other reason why you're not allowed to go back to West Virginia.
Yeah, Mickey and I kind of got into a little fist fight in West Virginia one time. It's out there. It's out there. It's on the line. But if Chris Taylor and I are not signed as a bona fide tag team, if Disney does take over, then they're doing a huge disservice. So, just saying.
There you go. Matt, what'd you learn from wrestling this week? A lot in person, I know.
I mean, I learned a lot at the RWA show.
Yeah.
But the thing I learned at the RWA show that was more important than anything else was that JDL is probably the greatest wrestler on the planet right now. I'm sure the Rev agrees.
I like him. Sadly.
It's so stupid and amazing. Sorg, boo this man, but unfortunately, this man is too good.
Yes.
And that crowd. I never thought I'd ever see a double turn at a independent wrestling show, but I think we were getting there. We were close. That little guy that he was beating up, who didn't have a belt for his tights, they were booing him. They were cheering JDL. What an experience.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget that match.
We come back. So. This happens. This Alex Monroe, skinny kid, and everybody's calling him a rookie. Then they realize he's been around for 5 years. And we're on the headset just tearing into this match in the funnest ways. And
Rev, you might know this. Why doesn't he have a belt for his tights? His tights have belt loops, but he has no belt. Tell me there's a veteran wrestler who stole his belt.
I would probably
for a little
say
joke, for a little haha.
Maybe that was the belt that O'Shea was using to tie down J-Rocc to the turnbuckle post.
Well,
Plot twist.
I do know where he got that belt because I witnessed it with my own eyes, and it was putting up a hell of a fight getting out of the referee's pants.
That was a ref's belt?
Yeah, it was
That
Bo's.
was a ref's belt, and it was not
Bo's.
going willingly. But
Yeah.
O'Shea convinced it. He convinced that belt that it was coming. So
the belt said,
You really may want to work on how you're phrasing all of that.
You should have seen it. It looked like an assault. Like I think O'Shea owes that referee dinner.
He said, I
He would,
like
like,
you
give
and
up
I
for a
want you.
couple
We can do it
seconds.
the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours.
he would give up for a couple seconds, go back to fighting wrestling. He'd go back and try again.
He said, I'm going
It's
to
like
get this
half
belt.
hanging out of his pants. I'm like, and I'm trying to see. I'm like, why is this belt not? This belt it should be over. Like,
Listen, that-
O'Shea
honestly,
Edwards wants
whatever-
this belt.
what-
Why is this belt still in his pants?
I don't know if it's a belt thing or if it's a pants thing, but there needs to be a combination commercial with both of that because that's a really good belt and some really strong belt loops. If that's the case. That's a good commercial.
Jeez. From the chat room, Dave Ponder learned that Enjoy Wrestling does amazing videos getting ready for MV Young and Max the Impaler. Have you seen this with MV Young in the Mad Max style car?
I saw that.
I saw it on my Twitter feed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I said, absolutely insane what they're doing over there. Tina can't wait to show Junior another promotion in person. So that'll be fun. Rev, what did you learn?
I learned to go directly home, jump in my car, and not change clothes as soon as I'm done wrestling, so I don't have to deal with a cluster like that.
Yep.
I think that's the thing. I guess I'm too much of a nice guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to help bring a little bit of order. And I learned over the weekend that there was no such thing. Actually, there was the exact opposite.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
therefore, if you just see me run to my car in my tights. It's probably a little bit of pro wrestling PTSD where I'm going before I don't want nothing to happen. I'm going to hit a sheets and I'm going home.
I learned I know how to identify Rev's car in the parking lot this weekend.
I was just about to say, it's a good
You
thing
and
Rev's
Matt.
car is inconspicuous because otherwise it might be tough to get out.
You in that. People got to know. You got an all black car, tinted windows, and a little thing on the back. You got to know.
Yeah,
He ain't hiding, folks. He ain't hiding.
If you're looking at if you're looking at license plates, it's not hard to figure out which one's his. I'm not gonna...
I will tell any fan this pop quiz. If you come to a show before doors are open and you think you spot my car just by the look of the license plate, take a picture of it and tag me in it. I might have a prize for you.
There you go.
It's like a Where's Waldo.
And we just pulled up our car and just looked over like, what the fuck is that? Jeez. Wow.
Get a load of this guy.
Get a load of this guy.
Who's this guy?
What's this about? Jeez, I don't even know where to start on this weekend. I've learned that wrestling venues are still shady. I'm actually really upset what happened to Rise this past week with their situation with their venue. They got like 48 hours notice that they can't do the show because of a construction issue or something like that. That really kind of put them out. I mean, we got people coming in town for their shows and everything. So that's some bullshit right there. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if that's what I learned, but that's my feelings right now. And I also learned, and again, I think we harp on this a little bit because we work in the space, but the technology and the presentation matters, whether it be the production that we're talking about with the New Japan issue, whatever's going on there. It was weird, and it's like, this looks like if I was there in person, I would have loved the show. But I got about 3 matches in, and I just couldn't stick with it, with that Battle in the Valley show with New Japan. And also same with Bleacher Report, as we discussed ad nauseum last night. If that stuff isn't straight, and I know a lot of people watch independent professional wrestling on some of these streaming platforms that are not, and they know it's going to be low budget, and then they know it's going to be not 100%. They know it's not WWE, but did it get delivered? Can you follow what's going on? And I think that is something, hey, in my mind, AEW screwed up because of their Bleacher Report, because this is now several times.
I've been saying this for a while.
This is now several times.
I don't know if they have a choice.
I've watched this pay-per-view and on that platform that it's not okay whether live or after the fact, and that's a problem. That's a major problem. I mean, I've seen weird stuff with Ring of Honor. There was one. They did the 2-night thing a couple months ago, and like it was like zoomed in. And I was watching after the fact, and it's like stuff happens, but it's like it didn't take away, and they fixed it, right? They were very, stuff happens. Obviously stuff happens. But what's that?
I said it happens.
It happens. But when you keep going back to the well, in the case of the Bleacher Report, it's frustrating, and it makes me and it's as a fan, when you're kind of handcuffed with that. Same with Peacock. Now I have an alternative to Peacock to watch certain things when they were having issues earlier in the year. But Peacock has not had issues the last couple of shows that I'm aware of, at least. So there's that. They learn from their mistakes. I say this. And
at least Peacock is relatively affordable and not making you pay $50.
Right. For a $50 pay-per-view, and it looks worse than a $10 fight from an indie promotion and God knows where on a probably operating off a hotspot. You know what I mean? Like that's the bar here, right? And I say something, very often with our production. I'm not going to say we're perfect with things. We've screwed up streams here and there, or audio or video or something, or lost the camera or miscued something. But generally, I like to say, especially for the big stuff, we don't make the same mistake twice. I wouldn't be traveling every weekend if we did. For what we're doing, knocking on wood. I know we have 3 shows this weekend, so but seriously, we don't make the same mistake twice. We reinforce after that. Well, the same mistake happened twice when power went out twice, and I said that's enough. We're getting some equipment to take care of this, So I hope others can learn from that. And if there are complaints about their show from the weekend, I'm hoping they're looking at that and looking at how to make it better. Because going to the well to the same thing. I've watched promotions for 2 years to make the same mistakes in their video production, and it's frustrating. And it's very frustrating because I know the people in the ring are killing it, and I love to see it. They can't get past the shit-covered glasses of your video production. So that's my TED Talk. Guys, thank you so much. The Rev Ron Hunt is just fucking everywhere.
I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place.
I think it works for every promotion in Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Close to it. I'm about to be on the movie screens again soon.
My God, literally, I'm looking at my feed. I'm like, his face is on another poster. What the hell? You got stuff going on this weekend. What's coming up? The immediate future, at least.
We have some big stuff coming up. Next is the Big Thing Wrestle Pit. This is gonna be a great thing. You haven't seen this since. Ring of Honor has been in town in the Pittsburgh area. Shane Taylor Promotions will be in. It's a big one, ladies and gentlemen. Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, Khan, Moses putting the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag team titles on the line against the main event. You're talking about Duke Davis, Gannon Jones Jr., and you already know your boy, the Iceman, Tony Johnson. This thing is dangerous on paper, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. This is stretched across multiple states, but now we're adding an additional person on both sides of the factor right there, and we're putting the titles on the line. You're not going to want to miss this, man. Completely killing it for WrestlePit. That's going to be the inaugural show. And
I think at least your crew is going to be out. If you're not in Pittsburgh and you're east of Pittsburgh, Jesus Club is representing at Prospect Pro Wrestling. I wasn't sure if you were going to be on there on that one.
Two Pizzle Whizzle. So actually, I'm doing the double take. Yes, I said two Pizzle Whizzle. Thank you, Snoop Dogg. For those of you that can't speak the Izzle language, that's 2PW. Mm-hmm. So another hot one. Actually, I've been very fortunate. One of the forefathers within that company, the very first win at that company.
The first match
and first win is myself and Zach Rain. So very, very, very honored for that. 2PW Jesus Club. My boys AJ Alexander, Curtis Ray Gotti will be in the building. I'll be there for a short stint, jumping right in the car and heading right there, because when you're a businessman, you got to keep it moving. But they're doing some great things. Sabu will be in the building, along with my man Bill Alfonso. Man, Pittsburgh Pro Wrestling is on fire. So if you can't go to one show, you can hit up the next. Both shows are top-notch. You're getting the best bang for your buck. Top-notch athletes on both sides of the board. Support Prospect Pro Wrestling. Wrestle Pit. Listen, you got to get out there, one or the other. But don't sit at home and be lazy, y'all. Go somewhere. Have a date. Tell them the ref sent you.
And, of course, if you're not in the Pittsburgh area, the Wrestle Pit show will be on Title Match Network if you want to check that out. And the Prospect Pro Wrestling show will be up, I believe, before Thanksgiving on IndyWrestling.us. So you don't have to miss that out if you're not here in the Pittsburgh area. Looking at you guys out there out west. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Let me double check I didn't miss anything. Looks pretty good out there. No more chats. Thank you, everybody, joining us in the chat room. It's been a hot chat room all evening as part of this. Thank you once again, the Rev Ron Hunt.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to having you back here on the show. And well, I guess probably let's get you on early next year. Let's call our shot.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, we can have an Easter special.
Man, listen, listen. I'm all about it. You know me. I might even have an Easter bunny costume. By the way, the only reason I'm excited that it's close to the end of the year, because I'm trying to get my vocal cords together for my Christmas singing. So we should be there.
We need to do another 12 days of Christmas, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Shit. All right.
I forgot about that. Whoops.
We do.
I gotta start working on that then.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I already finished one song.
Should we have Bubba Brewer back? Because he did fantastic.
I love it.
Like Tatiana's got to be back on it.
Oh yeah.
I might try to get a choir if you guys invite me back this time. I might need a choir behind me. I don't know. It's been a while since I had a live choir.
So should I go a little bit more of the religious Christmas songs?
You're my soprano, Mike. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah.
No, let's just do 12 Days of Christmas again.
All right.
Like we can do writing some new lyrics. It's always interesting to attempt this. And
yes.
And let's just do that thing.
I think that's it.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
And we'll listen back to it as we're drinking Fireball, apparently.
Oh my god.
I guess I didn't. I should.
But by the way, Sorg, you need to tell Rev or Matt. You need to tell Rev what was in the mule so he can enjoy that over his holiday.
Yeah, so you can have your autumn mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have the recipe.
It's
entrusted to me.
Bad Mike.
It's good.
Bad Mike 4883 on the tweets.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching the Spider-Man trailer from now until the end of time, or at least until December 17th.
There you go. And of course, mainstream Matt of Just Pro Wrestling News.
And just another weekend to look forward to, dodging big, scary people. Can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, you'll be there in the Wrestle Pit with a lot more people, a lot more large people, and a 6-man tag you have to worry about. Ooh. So we will have the Sidekick Media Services crews at Wrestle Pit, at Prospect Pro Wrestling, and I will be out with our good friends, some of the GoPro crew and the New Fear City crew will be helping me for Maverick MMA. Streaming on the Spectation Sports Network. If you want to pick that instead of wrestling, I know I'm not in the audience for it. But I know those have been doing very well, and that's a good crew out there that would be working with. So I'm working with wrestling people at the MMA show, so it's the closest I can get to doing a wrestling show.
It counts.
It counts. So you know what? I'm gonna be so happy to know everybody's in a cage and not going to go everywhere. Like last time.
Sorg, you just jinxed it.
There was a bit of a fight in Long Island at a show one time I was at. But
the cage is going to break. Fans are going to get into it. They're going to push back.
Listen, man. We're in the middle of nowhere in the Pocono Mountains. There's nowhere to go.
That's the best type. That's the best type.
Like, if you got to go, it's going to be wandering into the woods, and I don't want to. There's some chupacabra out there. I don't want to fuck with it, okay? I don't. Well, this place is scary.
Sorg, the scariest thing you're gonna see on Long Island is MJF.
No. This is the Poconos one. I'm not working the Long Island one.
Okay.
I almost got a Long Island gig next month, but that got. Instead, I'm driving to Myrtle Beach.
Just get yourself a hotel room, one of those hotel rooms with a big wine glass. You'll be fine. With big wine glass jacuzzi out there.
I get a kitchen up there last time I had a room. So I'm hoping that I get that nice suite again. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. Back Monday after Raw for the Monday Mayhem Warriors. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
line to where it's like, like I don't
Had
know.
enough.
I don't know. It's like, oh man, like, can I just go back to like calling you guys like goat humpers and stuff? I just don't.
That's where the like a little bit of like, we are not your best friends.
Yeah,
needs that like line needs to happen because some people, but also it's like this is the thing that they probably do every month and it's the only thing every month, right?
Yeah.
Like I get that, like I forget. I think the dude walked up on you, like I think we were talking, and that one guy that was trying to show you something. And I'm just like, I can't. I just walk away.
Yeah.
I can't get in on this.
Yeah.
Like when I was in ringside at intermission one time, and I don't know if it's that dude or another guy, like Cirque, walking up on me and telling me about his surgery or something. I'm like, I don't know you, man. What are we talking about right now?
This one dude came up to me. He's like, yeah, I just had to, I had to do 5 calls at the fire department this week. I said, oh yeah, and I just kept moving. Man, I can't. Sometimes I'll put the headphones on and nothing is playing. I blame Derek. I blame him and those damn sister wives.
God.
Well, I'm gonna jump out of here and get some sheets.
Yeah,
it feels good to be back in Pennsylvania because they didn't have that there. So
oh, geez, seriously.
They didn't